Hello, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the Elevate with Erica podcast. I'm your host, Erica. My mission is to connect with you through our stories and in that process spread inspiration for you to go do amazing things with your life. I had crushed that this is the way to the perfect job, marriage, and kids checklist and was left unhappy, stressed, living paycheck to paycheck, and unfulfilled. I knew there had to be more to life than wishing away the week until Friday, and so I found that proof. And that's what I'm here to do for you and with you. Are you ready to create a life that gets you excited? Then elevate with Erica. Grab a bottle and get comfy, friends. It's time for some unfiltered advice. Hi, friends. Welcome back to the Elevate with Erica show. For you guys on YouTube, hope you don't mind. I'm sitting in a different space than I usually am. I was just feeling this vibe today. So I'm feeling really revived by this new month of March. I hope you guys are feeling that way too. So I shared about my not so great February in my latest mini mindset elevator, which, by the way, I'm loving doing those for you guys. And in case you missed what they are, those are bonus only mini episodes. So those are for like subscribers only that drop weekly, and they're only $6 a month. These new episodes do not change the episodes you currently have access to and are listening to. And this is only on the podcast platform. So this is not available on the YouTube channel. So if you're a YouTube watcher, you're going to have to head to a podcast channel to listen to these mini mindset elevators. And just to clear up any confusion, you still have access to all regular episodes totally free. But if you want a little extra weekly motivation, then the mini mindset elevators are for you. And you can find the link in my show notes to get access to those. Okay, so yes, a new month. I'm here for it. February, well, just not my shining moment in my personal life. And I have been working through some things and trying to figure out how to navigate them and work on building my business at the same time. And it's just been a real challenge for me. So I've really been working to identify the things that I can control and the root of a lot of those things that I'm battling. And you guys probably know that I am a body partner. I help people live happier, healthier lives. And a huge part of that is working on their minds, making them a good place to be, because that's where we spend most of our time, right? So I too, for so many years, resisted the whole personal development world. Look at me now. It's actually always been a huge part in partnering in this business, but I resisted it for a couple of years and I did everything but that. I wasn't listening to motivational podcasts or watching motivation on YouTube videos or reading personal development books. Like, I didn't need it. I was fine. I'm strong. I'm independent. I wasn't raised in a space where we just complain about things that, weren't important. That's for people with issues. That's not me. That's for those people, right? And at the same time, my life wasn't perfect. Far from it. But at the same time, I'm acting like I'm above personal growth. Like, it sounds so ridiculous to hear now. And I think I just didn't want to face that I wasn't perfect, that like I had some work to do. What's going to happen when I face that I'm not perfect? That sounds scary to me. And what's going to happen when other people figure out that I'm not perfect? What will they say about me? Will they still love and accept me? Man, I've come a long way. Honestly, the switch for me was just because of the people I had started to surround myself with. Whether you like it or not, or care to admit it, the people around you have an effect on you. And this is proof, this time for the better. Normally, when we're talking about this topic, we're saying like, you're going to absorb their negative vibes, right? But this time it was for the better. This is proof that you can also absorb those positive vibes too. And they really have a huge impact on your life. Partnering with Body put people in my life that just wouldn't shut up about personal development. And eventually I saw how they were being so open about areas in their life where they could improve. And I'm like, you know what? I could do better with that part of my life too. This isn't who I want to be anymore. Let me see how I can change that to serve me better. So that's my big question for you today. Who do you want to become? I don't like the question, who do you want to be? Because it feels like it carries behind it this expectation that you can just be that person. And it's more of a becoming. it's a long, bumpy process to work on yourself. And because, the person you want to show up in the world as is different than you are today, that there's work there in the middle, right? It's no different than if you physically want to change in any kind of way. You don't just get to snap your fingers and hit that goal, right? We can't skip the work. It's the same for this mental process. And I just think that we are shaped by our entire childhood so much that when we get to a realization, 10, 20, 40, 50 years later, that we want to change a belief that we have that isn't serving us, it's going to take some work and time. It doesn't just happen overnight, just like who you are today didn't just happen overnight. Who do you want to become? Write it down. Draw some pictures to go with it if you need to. Get a clear picture. It doesn't mean you don't love yourself for who you are right now, right? So let's cut the mentality of or out. I want you to open yourself up for change. Don't think about the work. Just think about the person that you would like to become. What are the parts of you today that you would like to work on? Where can you do a little better? Where can you human a little better? I don't think there's anything wrong with highlighting those things, right? Because I think the greatest gift we can give the world is to show up as our best selves and inspire somebody else to do that. And in order to do that, we have to get real with ourselves. So who is that person? Who are they? Why is it important to you to become that person? How will you feel? And what would that person say to you today? That's a big exercise. I know, I'm trying to do it myself. So make sure you really sit down with that and take some time. It's exactly what I've been doing over the course of the past few days, y'all. And it may take you over the course of a few days, or you might be able to take 10 minutes and you know who it is that you want to become. But you can come back and keep adding to that list, because that's what I've been doing. And I realized that, I've found a real turning point, because this exercise is making me very uncomfortable and emotional. And so I had a revelation while I was in the shower today. Yes, in the shower. I always say that I do my best thinking in the shower. And I want to take you back to my childhood for just a moment. And here is something that I know I've said before, but I want to say it again. Your parents may have done the best they could have and had the best intentions, and you still become an adult carrying crap from your childhood that isn't serving you. Nothing I say is to bash my family. My mom is an amazing and extremely hardworking, determined woman. She is powerful, and I am lucky to have had that sort of female figure so dominant in my life. She worked 3 jobs to make ends meet. She fought for the kind of love she deserved, and she created her life. She didn't just sit back and wait for it to happen to her. I bring this up because if you're struggling with things from your childhood, but you don't want to hurt your parents by giving it a voice, or maybe just within yourself, you don't want to accept that maybe something had a profound, not so great impact on you, even though your parents were doing your best. Know that working on you, working on things not serving you from childhood, doesn't mean that your parents are bad people. And it doesn't mean that you had some awful childhood either. I'm a mom. I sure screw up from time to time. I know I do. Show me the perfect parent, right? Because I would just love to meet them. There's no rule book on this. And, there's just a lot of people with a lot of different opinions on the right way. I have to tell you guys about a new meat delivery subscription service I'm using. ButcherBox delivers high-quality meat you can trust right to your front door. I'm talking free-range organic chicken, humanely raised pork, 100% grass-fed and grass-finished beef, and wild-caught seafood, so you can feel good about what you're eating, but also the taste and the quality are amazing. I made a steak dinner last night with 2 cuts of ribeyes from ButcherBox, and wow, you can taste the quality. Click the link in my show notes to grab your first ButcherBox. But I need to take you to my revelation in the shower this morning. Why am I struggling so hard to write down who I want to become? That's what I asked myself. When I know that who I am today, that some thought patterns I have today That's not who I want to be. I love me today, but there's just some patterns that I would like to divorce from. I'm tired of thinking and feeling the way that I do in relationships in my life and in social settings in general. So why is this so hard for me to write down who I want to become? So I thought back to little me, and I can't even put in a specific age to this because it really feels like so much of my young life. I did grow up in a split home. My parents separated when I was very young. I was kind of like a one last time attempt at trying to make that work. And my biological parents each come from very different cultures. They're each very happy, social, fun, entertaining people, but their family cultures are very different. So for a little girl trying to find her place and figure out who she is, it was interesting to jump from one culture to the next. And I couldn't really get my footing on where I belonged or who I was. It was more about, okay, now I'm here, fit in here. Okay, now I'm over here. I've got to fit in here. This episode feels so heavy to me, and I'm sorry. But I hope that I can help you have a serious breakthrough today. So hang with me. So in addition to trying to fit into each place, I actually never felt like I succeeded at doing that in either place. And I also have sisters who it felt like three of them were so much alike, and then there was me. Or not so much alike, but like they had more of a connection for some reason, and then there was me. But I do have to say, we really weren't alike. Like we're all so very different from one another, but still it seemed like three connected more than I did. I don't know why. Not only are our personalities very different, but we also look very different. So anyway, my point is, even when I was home, I didn't really feel like I like anyone really. Or with the families of each parent. I didn't feel like I quite belonged, and I never felt like I belonged anywhere. It's not anything anyone did to me. No one is to blame here. I just, as a child, couldn't grasp who I was. Or maybe I knew, but I just didn't know if I would be loved and accepted for that person. And I could go so much deeper into this, but I'm not going to today. Today, anyway, right? I will. It's on my heart to write a book one day, you guys. It really is. One day I'll do it. But the point is here to say that here I am as an adult, and I'm still having a hard time acknowledging who I really am and who I want to become, because I'm still so hindered by what I think I'm supposed to be. Removing who am I supposed to be from my thought pattern is really fucking hard, because I did that for so much of my childhood, depending on where I was that weekend. There are so many opinions out there, right, on the correct way to live, on how you're supposed to act when you're a mom, on how you're supposed to act, even if like just as an adult, how you're supposed to adult, on how you should be as because you're a wife now, right? On how you should be because this is your job title, whatever it is. So many people telling us what we are supposed to be, in addition to just us in our heads with our own self-shaming thoughts, on top of us tucking away parts of ourselves because we think we can't be that person or think that way because we're a mom or because we're an adult, so we can't be that fun, free-spirited, silly side. We're supposed to have our stuff together. The truth is, you shouldn't be anything other than who you really are. And you haven't become that person yet because you're not giving that version of you permission to show up. You haven't even accepted that person yet. Life isn't about trying to be like anyone else. It's about uncovering and becoming who you have always been. And it's up to you to put in the work to meet that greatness within you, because there is greatness in every one of us. Who you really are doesn't change because of anything external. It doesn't change because you got a divorce. because you became a parent, because you got some big job title, because you got married, because you whatever, right? And I don't want to feel pressure anymore to change who I am because of anything external. Like I want to be who I am, whether I'm hanging out with my LEO husband's coworkers, showing up as myself on social media, or hanging with my crazy ass friends and family. Because here's the thing. If I lose people in that, then they never loved me anyway, right? And if you lose people when you start showing up as who you really are, do you want them in your life anyway? Because I think you can do a lot better. I know you can. Have you ever had someone tell you, I liked you better when? But what if you're happier now? Have they cared to take notice of that? The people in your life should support your growth. Oh, that just made me think of a reel that popped up on my feed yesterday. It was Tyler Perry. There are people who come into your life that were only meant to be there for a season. And he compared those people to boosters on a rocket. The boosters fall off when the rocket reaches a certain altitude. They aren't bad people. They just can't go where you're going. Don't feel bad. Isn't that so good? So I ask you again. I tell you my answers, but honestly, I'm still working on it. Who do you want to become? Who are they? Why is it important to you? How will you feel? And what would that person say to you today? And I'm going to say this again, because if you're an overthinker, you're going to get tripped up on this like me. Don't think about the work that will go into it. That's going to happen in small steps. You don't need to see the whole damn staircase. Talking to me, you don't need to see the whole damn staircase, Erica. You don't just wake up and become a butterfly. Don't skip the beautiful journey. The journey uncovers things for us that we didn't even realize. And we find community on the journey. We uncover passions we didn't even know we had on the journey. The journey to becoming your best self is the best part. It's better than the destination. Envision that person. What are the qualities of that person? What does that person do daily? Like, what are their daily habits? Feel it, see it, write it down. Don't identify with things that aren't serving you anymore. You can change at any given moment. I will share a few of mine, but I'm definitely not done. I want to become confident in any room. I want to become a reliable friend without any expectation of something in return. I want to become the kid in me who likes to make people laugh. I feel like I've kind of lost that part of me over time. I want to become someone who speaks her feelings without fear of judgment. I want to become a leader in my industry. I want to become a more patient mom. You guys can see where mine are like all over the place, right? In reference to various areas of my life. And that's okay, because you are not just one thing. You are not just anything. Stop justing yourself, and definitely don't let other people just you. Own who you are deep down. Work to become that person out loud for everyone else to experience. People are missing your light while you're busy dimming it to fit in. You're not doing anyone any favors. Turn your magic all the way on, baby. Be who you really are, because your happiness is where it lives. And you'll uncover what you really want in life, who you really want to spend your life with. It takes courage, and that's why a lot of people are unhappy, out there projecting their limiting beliefs on everyone else because they are afraid to be who they are. They don't even know who they are. They just got in line, right? They just got in line in life. I don't want that for you. Step out of line. You can't even hear your own beat there. It's too crowded with the people who are too afraid to do what you are about to do. And I can't wait to see you dance to the beat of your own drum. Someone will be inspired by your dance. Someone will step out of line. And what a gift that will be. Talk soon, friend. 8.